Milkman, Mr. Milktastic, back at you with another episode so soon. And the reason we are back is because everything has been like rush. When I just want to come and read the word, but it's like, hey, don't do that. Just go do this, do that. But so we're going to stop, take our time and read this word, all right? All right. That's what we're doing. We're going to do it. We're going to get it in. Then Samuel died. Above my head. Somebody said you ain't supposed to be reading the Bible with your head covered. Me and God working on his head, so y'all see me reading with a bandana on, don't say nothing. So my mind and my head get together. Might have to read with a shadash on. Okay. Truly don't mean to offend any. I just want peace. All right, I gotta go. We're gonna get the word in first before we go. What the word say? Then Samuel died, and all Israel. Oh, we on Samuel 1, chapter 25. Then Samuel died, and all Israel gathered together and mourned for him, and buried him at his house in Ramah. And David arose and went down to the wilderness of Paran, Nabal and Abigail. Now there was a man in Moab whose business was in Carmel, and the man was very rich, and he had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats. And it came about while he was shearing his sheep in Carmel, now that the man's name was Nabal, and his wife's name was Abigail. And the woman was intelligent and beautiful in appearance, but the man was harsh and evil in his dealings, and he was a Calebite. That David heard in the wilderness that Nabal was shearing his sheep. So David sent 10 young men, and David said to the young man, go up to Carmel, visit Nabal, and greet him in my name, and thus you shall say, have a long life, peace be to you, and peace be to your house, and peace be to all that you have. Now, I have heard that you have shearers. Now your shepherds have been with us, and we have not insulted them, nor have they missed anything all the days they were in Carmel. Ask your young man, and they will tell you. Therefore let my young man find favor in your eyes, for we have come on a festive day. Please give it whatever you find at hand to your servants and to your son David. When David's young men came, they spoke to Nabal according to all the words in David's name. Then they waited, but Nabal answered David's servant and said, who is David? And who is the son of Jesse? There are many servants today who are each breaking away from his master. Shall I then take my bread and my water and my meat that I have slaughtered for my shearers and give it to men whose origin I do not know? So David's young man retracted their way and went back. And they came and told him according to all these words. David said to his man, each of you grit on your sword. So each man gritted on his sword, and David also gritted on his sword, and about 400 men went up behind David, while 200 men stayed at the baggage. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, behold, David sent messengers from the wilderness to greet our master, and he scorned them. Yet the men were very good to us, and we were not insulted, nor did we miss anything as long as we went about with them while we were in the fields. They were a wall to us both by night and by day all the time. We were with them, tending the sheep. Now therefore know and consider what you should do, for evil is plotted against our master and against all his household. And he is such a worthless man that no one can speak to him. Damn, now the servants is telling this to the wife. That's crazy. Abigail intercedes. Then Abigail hurried and took 200 loaves of bread, and 2 jugs of wine, and 5 sheep already prepared, and 5 measures of roasted grain, and 100 clusters of raisins, and 200 cakes of figs, and loaded them on donkeys. She said to her young man, go on before me, behold, I am coming after you. But she did not tell her husband Nabal. It came about as she was riding on her donkey and coming down by the hidden part of the mountain that, behold, David and his men were coming down toward her. So she met him. Now David had said, surely in vain I have guarded all that this man has in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed of all that belonged to him. And he has returned me evil for good. May God do so to the enemies of David, and more so if by morning I leave as much as one male of any who belonged to him. When Abigail saw David, she hurried and dismissed from her donkey and fell on her face before David and bowed herself to the ground. She fell at his feet and said, "O me alone, my Lord, be the blame. And please let your maidservant speak to you, and listen to the words of your maidservant. Please do not let my Lord pay attention to this worthless man, Nabal. For as his name is, so is he. Nabal is his name. Folly is with him. But I am your maidservant. Did not see the young man of my Lord whom you sent. Now therefore, my Lord, as the Lord lives and as your soul lives, since the Lord has restrained you from shedding blood and from avenging yourself by your own hand, now then let your enemies, those who seek evil against my Lord, be as Nabal. Now let this gift which your maidservant has brought to my Lord be given to the young man who accompanied my Lord. Please forgive the transgression of your maidservant, for the Lord will certainly make for my Lord an enduring house, because my Lord is fighting the battles of the Lord, and the evil will not be found in you all your days. Should anyone rise up to pursue you and seek your life, then the life of my Lord shall be bound in bundle of the living with the Lord your God. But the lives of your enemies he will sling out. As for the lives of your enemies he will sling out as from the hollow of a sling. And when the Lord does for my Lord according to all the good that he has spoken concerning you, and appoints you ruler over Israel, this will not cause grief or a troubled heart to my Lord, both by having shed blood without cause and by my Lord having avenged himself. When the Lord deals well with my Lord, then remember your maidservant." Then David said to Abigail, "Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, who sent you this day to meet me. And blessed be your discernment. And blessed be you, who have kept me this day from bloodshed, and from avenging myself by my own hand. Nevertheless, as the Lord God of Israel lives, who has restrained me from harming you, unless you had come quickly to meet me, surely that there would not have been left to Nabal until the morning light as much as one male." So David received from her hand what she had brought him, and said to her, "Go up to your household and peace. See, I have listened to you and granted your request." Then Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he was holding a feast in his house, like a feast of a king. And Nabal's heart was merry within him, for he was very drunk. So she did not tell him anything at all until the morning light. But in the morning, when the wine had gone out of Nabal, his wife told him these things, and his heart died within him, so that he became as a stone. About 10 days later, the Lord struck Nabal, and he died. David marries Abigail. When David heard that Nabal was dead, he said, "Blessed be the Lord, who has pleaded the cause of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and has kept back his servant from the evil. The Lord also returned evil doing on Nabal on his head." Then David sent a proposal to Abigail to take her as his wife. When the servants of David came to Abigail as Carmel, they spoke to her, saying, "David has sent us to you to take you as his wife." She arose and bowed her face to the ground and said, "Behold, your maidservant is a maid to wash feet of my Lord's servant." Then Abigail quickly arose and rode on a donkey with her 5 maidens who attended her, and she followed the messengers of David, and behold, and became his wife. David had also taken Anomiah of Jezreel, and they both became his wife. Now Saul had given Michal, his daughter David's wife, to Peleti, the son of Lavish, who was from Galilee. David again spared Saul. That's going to be the next chapter, chapter 26. Well, I got to go. Got good eats on the way. It is some good eats on the way today. Thank God for that. Finally get to eat good. Hope y'all got something from the word. I just had to stop and do that because it felt like I was rushing, and did a lot of other stuff and didn't get that word in, so I wanted to read that. and get that in my spirit and get that in my soul, because that helped me for my day. You know what I'm saying? Keep me straight. Yeah, I be driving out here. $20 for the shirt, that's all it takes. $20 for the shirt, man. But I gotta go. Got good eats on the stove somewhere. Holla.